often people also, as well, they're like, I don't want to wash it. I don't want to ruin it before I even wear it. That kind of thing.
Yes, it's spring cleaning time, but your bras, you should be cleaning them a little more than just, in the springtime.
And washing lingerie is also seasonal, right? Like
These things are not cheap, right?
the warmer it is out, the more we sweat, the more we need to wash like it, right? More soap, more clean, and then all you just end up with a big sudsy mess. Like more soap is never more clean.
Do you recommend new undergarments being washed before use? Or what is it about soap that makes it stand out, especially as a detergent for lingerie?
We come from a skincare background, so it is designed for people with sensitive skin. The aesthetic of the lingerie and the stores and the products were not really aligned with the wash products that people were recommending, right? There's these like really dated detergents on the shelf next to these beautiful contemporary colors. The sooner you can soak something, the faster you're returning the fabric to its original state. So you're removing the dirt that's sitting on the fibers. Enthusiasm for new underwear. Event specific underwear. I mean, that's also why we want to hand wash and not machine wash, because gentle garments don't need aggressive agitation, right?
I love that. Snap, 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 snap.
Let's talk about breasts. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things
and all the bad things. Welcome to episode 66 of Bootu Podcast. I'm your best friend, Jaleesa. Thanks for coming back to join for yet another episode, 66 to be exact. And we have just entered the spring season. Happy spring to everyone. And because of that, it's time to talk about some spring cleaning. But before we get into it, let's see what BootTube on the Move has to say. Can you name any detergents specifically for bras and other intimate apparel?
No.
Okay. What detergent do you use for your bras and other intimate apparel?
Persil.
Okay. What detergent do you use for your bras and other intimate apparel?
So I've been using these eco sheets, and they're like sheets. They're laundry detergent sheets that you just put in maybe 2 or 3, but they're very eco-friendly. I can't remember the exact brand, but they're really cool.
I don't think I'd heard of the sheets before. That's cool. I'm gonna look into that.
My grandma, she's the one who uses them, so she's been putting me on, and so far my body loves it.
That's good. So it sounds like there's some things that people can learn when it comes to cleaning their intimates, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Yes, it's spring cleaning time, but your bras, you should be cleaning them a little more than just, in the springtime. You got to clean them a little more often, but it's important that you're using things that increase the longevity of your intimates because these things are not cheap, right? So we have someone here to join us that's going to give us some great information about what it is that you can do to increase the longevity of your intimates and what's the best way that you can go about keeping them clean. So let's see what our guest has to say. Welcoming our guest, Jacqueline Sava, who is the CEO of Soak. Can't wait to hear some more about this amazing brand. So welcome to BootTube.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. All righty. So let's dive right in.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about how you got into the journey of Soak? How did that come across? How did you begin to create it? What's the story?
My background's industrial design, so product development and product design. And I was designing knitwear, which I know is not products, but I took machine knitting while I was doing my thesis and I fell in love with it. So I was designing knitwear, mostly hats and scarves and accessories. And when I started selling them, people started asking how to take care of them. And we used like combination fibers. So like one hat had all these stripes and it could have like wool and silk and cashmere and all kinds of different fibers. They were really meant to last a long time and have lots of different colors. And so with that, we really realized when people were asking the question, like, how do I wash that? How do I take care of that? That we didn't really have a good answer. And so we were telling people to use Snuggle or use baby shampoo or use, dish soap or whatever. And then we were like, well, that's not ideal. And So we created soak originally as a secondary product to go with our knits. So it was supposed to be the wash solution that we sold with our knitwear. Like, you buy this, like, you can't, if a younger person would buy it and they weren't up on their laundry, we would say, you can't just like throw this in the washing machine. It has wool in it, it's going to shrink. So you have to hand wash it. Well, how do I hand wash, or what do I hand wash it with? So then we were like, here, use this. And that's when we developed soak. So it was really supposed to be a secondary product to our knitwear. And then as we were developing the knitwear that was supposed to last kind of multi-years, because like a blue hat would have like 7 different shades of blue, so it wouldn't be a seasonal item, it would be something that you could wear for many years to come. But as we started selling them and into stores wanted fashion colors, they wanted like, what's next? And we didn't really want to create that kind of collection. And so with that, we developed soak, and then from there we started learning about more industries and places where there was washing opportunities or things that we could take care of. So we learned about the knitting industry, and someone was like, hey, it's not just for finished knits, there's all these people who are knitting their own things who also want to learn how to take care of it. And that's what led us to our first knitting trade show. And then from there we started looking at other industries where people had delicate clothing and the wash solutions weren't really ideal. And so we were looking for markets and industries where we could take our premium wash that was beautiful, that smelled great, that had great packaging and great design, and then put it next to the things that wanted to get taken care of. So like, if you looked at the lingerie industry, for example, the aesthetic of the lingerie and the stores and the products were not really aligned with the wash products that people were recommending, right? There's these like really dated detergents on the shelf next to these beautiful contemporary colors and beautiful contemporary fibers and all these really sophisticated elastics and things like that. So we just really wanted to start positioning our wash next to the things like that to take care of it.
Great. I'm so glad that you came up with that. And it doesn't seem like, it's funny just how like one thing will take us to the next and you don't see that coming. So
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you had said to me like, oh, you'll have a warehouse full of laundry soap and you'll be selling it around the world, I'd be like, ha ha ha, that's crazy.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we know the story behind soap, what is it about soap that makes it stand out, especially as a detergent for lingerie? I know it works for other fabrics as well, but specifically.
Okay. So the thing about soak is that we know that like, I can use dish soap to wash my bra, and in theory, it's going to actually be clean, right? Like dirt, any soap will like remove dirt. But what we really wanted to do was create something which is what we call soak worthy. We people have things that they love, right? They're important to them. Either they made it, or they spent a lot of money on it, or they got fitted. And we've all had that experience. I'm sure you've talked about like that fitting experience where you have your first fitting and all of a sudden you feel so much better, right? You're sitting up straighter, your body looks better, you feel better. And so what we really want is to extend that feeling, right? So soak is not about necessarily soap. It's about teaching people how to take care for the things that they bought to take care of themselves, right? And so we try to take people from fear to elation and like into their favorite clothes. So from a formula perspective, from an ingredient perspective, from a fragrance perspective, from a packaging perspective, we really wanted to make something that was like skincare for your clothing. So the way that you have a skincare routine for your face, we want you to have a routine for your favorite clothes, because if you know how to take care of them, then you're going to wear them more often, right? If you have a favorite bra that you got fitted for a special event or a wedding or a particular dress, and you're afraid it's not going to last, or you're afraid you're not going to be able to take care of it, then you're less likely to actually wear it, right? Or you wear it and you don't wash it and you just wear, and then, as we know, that's not ideal for the fibers either. And we also wanted to make something that would sit on your counter, not under it. So if you've ever seen the aesthetic of soak, it really more looks like a bath and beauty product or like a skincare product. It's not really meant to look like a traditional detergent, because we want people to actually keep it out on their counter and actually use it on a regular basis. And then from a sustainability and packaging perspective, we use recycled PET. We have since 2012. We have the same substrate for our labels on our bottles, so they are recyclable together. We use naturally derived ingredients, and we have, a really strong balance between environmentally friendly ingredients, but still actually like a shelf stable product. So it can go in a store and it can sit on a shelf in the light and not deteriorate. And so from all these different angles, we're really trying to make the best product that we can so that people have the best experience using it. And the user might not notice these things necessarily like consciously when they're using it, but subconsciously it's like, oh, what fragrance do I feel like today? Or do I want to use the bottle that's like a pretty blue or a pretty orange? Or sometimes we color coordinate, like I'm washing a yellow bra, so I'm going to use Pineapple Grove today, you know, that kind of thing, to just give people kind of an elevated experience to really encourage them to take care of their lingerie and their bras.
I like that. It's like so much thought that goes into it, and especially the skincare for your clothes part, right? Did I say that
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Skincare for your clothing. Yeah. Well, I
I
mean, it's
love that.
important, right? Because we have so many routines for our homes. We have routines for our skincare. And then what are we doing like with our bra at the end of the day? If it's me, I'm like pulling it out of my sleeve and throwing it on the floor,
Right.
you know? So I'm like, okay, when is it that you guys get a little love, you know, considering you're holding up, you know, my breasts all day, which is a very important job. So
They love
yeah.
doing their job, hopefully,
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
get some love when they get clean.
Exactly.
Okay, so you did mention how, of course, it's not ideal for the fibers, of course, if you're not cleaning your bras.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about some of the risk factors for the skin if bras are not washed properly, or if there are certain contents in the fabric that pose a risk?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a fabric expert per se, but we do know that the less we wash things, the less happy they are. So we call it invisible dirt. So you might not be able to see that your bra is dirty. And my favorite example is like if you have a sports bra, you have one clean one dirty one, you go for a run, you come home, you take it off, you go to work, you come home, they're both on the floor. You might not immediately be able to tell which one is the clean one and which one is the dirty one once like the sweat has dried, right? But essentially what soak does is the sooner you can soak something, the faster you're returning the fabric to its original state. So you're removing the dirt that's sitting on the fibers. And also when we wear bras, swimwear, they're under tension, right? Like the straps are in tension over my shoulders. The swimsuit is in tension over my entire body. It's also could be in chlorine or salt water, and sweat and all those kind of things. And so what soak is designed for is to take all that invisible dirt off the fibers and then let the fibers kind of go back to their original state and kind of stay there as long as possible. So nothing will really reverse the effects of wear on a material, right? You can't, like, if I, you know, my two piece my favorite cup size swimwear is like the bottom's like wearing out and I'm like, oh, and then I think back to how many years I've had it and how often I wear it either in a pool, on a trip, in a hotel pool, at the cottage, sitting in the sand or the dirt, right? Like, and I'm like, oh, or sitting on a dock or sitting, you know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna wear out because it's under tension and it's got friction, right? So soak is not going to restore the fiber. Like it's not going to make the fiber come back to life, like make new fibers, but it is going to extend the life of the garment and it's going to extend the life of the color fastness of a garment because salt water, sun, UV, chlorine, suntan lotion, all those things, you know, yeah,
Yeah,
skincare, body, you know, body lotion, skincare, sunscreen, spray sunscreen, you know, all those things will contribute to you know, wear on the fiber. So if you put sunscreen on, you get sunscreen on the edge of your bathing suit, you don't wash it off, then those chemicals are sitting on the fabric for longer than they really need to be. So that's what we're really trying to do is just get all that invisible dirt off the garment and let it go back to the way it was. And that's also why we want to hand wash and not machine wash because gentle garments don't need aggressive agitation, right? Like my
right.
kids' snow pants and my kids' jeans at the end of a muddy spring day need the agitation of the wash to like dig the mud out from the knees,
Right.
right? My bra doesn't need that, right?
It makes sense.
It just needs the water to flow through it with the soap and with soak and to get the dirt out of it and then to like sit it and lay flat and dry. So we don't need the aggressive whiteners and brighteners that are in some traditional detergents, and we don't need the aggressive agitation that happens even with the front loading machine of the spinning and the spiraling, right? We want to be more delicate with how we're washing those, which is why hand washing is great. And you can use soak in the washing machine. It is an HE safe formula. So I use it to wash my sheets. I use it to wash my workout clothes. I use it to wash my dresses. I use it to wash my sweaters in the machine where I don't have the time or the space necessarily to hand wash those items. Those things I can put in the machine with soap because they just need that gentle soap to to work through the fibers and get the dirt out. So really what we're doing is we're trying to restore the fibers, especially something like wool or cashmere. We don't notice over time that the invisible dirt kind of builds up on the fibers and squishes them down. So like if you have, maybe not in Texas, but like in Canada, if you have a winter hat that you're wearing every single day, you're not going to necessarily notice that it's pulling, it's pulling the oils off my skin, it's pulling the dirt off my skin or sweat. We don't necessarily notice that right away, but then when we go to soak it, you put it in the water and like swoosh, the water gets really dirty, right? And then you're like, oh, look at that. And then the hat's like fluffier and lighter and stretchier and happier again.
That makes sense. So just to clarify, when you do put some of those items in the washer machine, are you putting it on a delicate cycle or are you just letting it soak in the washer machine?
I'm generally doing the delicate cycle,
Okay.
but I also, if I'm washing like a duvet cover or something, I'll just put it on a regular cycle. So I will use cold water in the machine, but I always use cold water in the machine.
Mhm.
And the key in a washing machine is to follow um, the instructions of your machine for how much detergent you're using, and less is always more in any detergent. So more soap doesn't make things cleaner.
Right.
The life lesson that everybody has to learn. Like, I had a pen explode in a backpack that was sitting on my bed. So I had pen on the backpack, pen on my pillow. And then I tried to wash it and I was like, more soap, more clean. And then all you just end up was like with a big sudsy mess. Like more soap is never more clean. And also suds do not make more clean. So soak is a quick rinse, no rinse formula. So if you're soaking a big thick sweater, you don't have to rinse it out over and over and over. You won't get a ton of bubbles. And that's because bubbles are a sign that's put in soap that says I'm cleaning, but it's not actually a cleaning action. The bubbles don't actually clean in the case of like a dental detergent. So more suds does not mean more clean. That's just like a good tip because sometimes people just like put more in because they don't have enough bubbles.
Yeah, not everyone knows that or thinks that.
Yeah.
So
It's counterintuitive, right? Because we all like a good bubble bath, right? So
right.
big
And
bubbles.
I'm always talking about like increasing the longevity of your intimates. And I never thought of putting it that way, like you said, as far as it not needing that level of agitation as something else like your jeans or snow pants like that.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, jeans is a funny example because actually jeans don't like to be washed that often either. So jeans can go quite a long time without being washed and they don't need the agitation either. So it's more like, yeah,
muddy
like
jeans.
what?
You said
Muddy jeans.
muddy
Yeah.
jeans. Muddy.
8-year-old muddy jeans. Yeah. 8-year-old kid muddy jeans. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, most things that as we move, like a lot of our customers are lean towards sustainable fashion or like buy less, choose well. So like really nice pieces that last longer. And those things generally don't need the deep agitation because we're not wearing them like to like a Tough Mudder marathon kind of situation, right? We're just wearing them during the day. So that's definitely a thing that we don't need to like clean all the time, right? So
Right.
and often we're wearing like, I mean, lingerie and bras are different because they're right on our skin, but often like a sweater, like we'll wear like a t-shirt underneath it or a tank top underneath it or something, and so it's not right up against our skin. And washing lingerie is also seasonal, right? Like the warmer it is out, the more we sweat, the more we need to wash it, right? So in the winter, if I'm just sitting at home working or I'm just like going to the office and back, I might not be sweating that much, so I might be able to get 2 or 3 wears out of my bra before I want to wash it. Whereas in the summer, if I'm wearing it outside and it's really hot and sweaty, I'm going to want to soak it like on the daily, and have a few to be rotating, right? We don't want to be wearing the same bra every single day. It's kind of like our shoes. We want to let them breathe a day before we wear them again.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So do you recommend new undergarments being washed before use or like any recommendation there?
I mean, I think that has to do a lot with like sensitive skin, enthusiasm for new underwear, event specific underwear. I mean, generally,
Right.
like if I buy like a whole bunch of pairs of underwear or whatever, or I buy new clothes for if I'm on a laundry cycle, I generally will wash it first, just to take out the sizing, take out any extra things that are in it from manufacturing. But I don't think it's incredibly necessary. And I think it's hard if let's say if I get fitted for a bra to wear underneath a strapless dress and I'm really excited about it, I'm like hanging up my dress and I'm hanging up my bra with it, right? So in that case, I'm not necessarily Often people also, as well, they're like, I don't want to wash it, I don't want to ruin it before I even wear it, that kind of thing. So I mean, I definitely recommend hand washing things or soaking them before. And in the same way that with fabric, and we sell a lot into the quilting industry and the knitting industry, like I'm a fabric pre-washer as well. I want to know if I'm going to quilt with something that's going to survive the wash. And also at the same time, when you wash fabric, like if you have yardage, or I don't know if you sew at all, but like if once you wash fabric, it sort of loses that sizing that it comes off the bolt in. And so it's like a little softer and a little more friendly, and also like less structured. So some people prefer to work with it in that totally structured state where it's still got the sizing and everything on it. So, and I think if you have sensitive skin, I mean, soak, we come from a skincare background, so it is designed for people with sensitive skin. So I think people kind of know whether they're sensitive to generally fabrics that are worn without being washed. So I don't think there's like a hard, fast rule on that. But just, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there was any specific recommendation with that, just coming from you.
I mean, I'm a pre-washer, but I also have like bottles of soak in like every corner of my house. So
Right.
a lot of people do, right? I'll keep one in the upstairs bathroom so that if I'm, wanting to wear my favorite t-shirt before I go to bed, or I realize that, I've thrown 3 bras on the floor, I can wash them there. I do keep a bottle where my washing machine is, so that when I'm doing my laundry, if I have a delicate cycle, or if I have enough like dresses and t-shirts and stuff, or I might, if I have like dresses and sweaters, I might fluff them out with some like t-shirts that I know are not really that like dirty, right? And do a load with soak. And then I keep a bottle in my kitchen as well, because sometimes I foolishly like make pasta with red sauce while wearing like a light pink sweater, and I'm like, shit, because I get pasta sauce on me, and then I can just go over to the sink and like spot clean it out as well. So I think that's good to have multiple bottles around so that you've got it on hand, right? Because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, right?
Right, for sure.
Right. If you don't have it, like, I'll often put stuff to soak in the bathroom while my kids are in the bathtub, right? Or if I'm in a super rush in the morning with a sports bra and I know I have something in the evening, I'll actually just take it right into the shower with me. And I have a bottle of soak in the shower, and I suds it up and I swoosh it all together and I literally drop it on the floor. And so that's not like ideal, but it's better than the bra sitting in sweat for like 24 hours, right? So or I'll put soak on it and frout together, and then I'll like hang it over the faucet, and it's not perfect, but it's getting that initial layer of dirt out of it. The same thing's true for like swimming. If you're in a public pool, like just try to give it a quick rinse with soak with like a single sample or a small bottle while you're in the shower at the pool, and then you can give it a proper soak when you get home or later in the day. Just trying to get that initial dirt off as soon as possible.
What feedback have you received from your customers that has influenced the development or improvement of your product?
Oh, that's such a great question. I think that the most feedback we get is about fragrances and sizes. We have sort of a fragrance guideline. So our fragrances are really light, they're modern, they're clean, they're fresh. And we've been at, our newest fragrant wild mint is a bit more unisex, a bit more earthy and interesting and contemporary. So we had a request for that as compared to like more of like a floral or a fruity fragrance. And then definitely the travel size was a request, a product that developed because of the request. So flight friendly 90 ml, and then our single use samples. And then our wash bags as well. Our wash bags are made out of recycled PET bottles, so they're more expensive than traditional wash bags, but they have super longevity. They last really long. The zippers are really strong. The materials recycled PET, and it's really good quality. So that was definitely something that our customers asked for, and we knew we didn't want to make another cheap wash bag, right? Like another $3 throw it out, it's going to break and the seams are going to come undone kind of wash bag. So we may not sell as many as those, but it's more important to us that it's a good quality wash bag, and it's and we also have the different color zippers that match the fragrances. So that was definitely a product that evolved out of customer demand.
We all love a travel size for sure.
Yeah.
Instead of having to transfer things into the little bottles. So
yeah,
very
exactly.
convenient, very good.
And we
idea.
do have we have our single use samples as well. And so, they're not as eco-friendly from a single use material standpoint. And also when we're traveling, sometimes we just need to know that it's not going to leak or it's not going to accidentally come undone. And I always have one in my bag, like if I'm out somewhere and somebody spills coffee on something or, just always have one available to use, especially at trade shows or events and that kind of thing. There's always somebody that the classic lingerie move is to be a salesperson and have like the new season or the yet to release bra on and then want to show someone and then lift it up like this, but then get lipstick on your shirt. That's a classic move that we get called in for to help get the lipstick out of the shirt after that. So
Perfect. And some people might not ever know the struggle that we once had with things spilling in our travel bags because times have changed so much to where we can avoid that more. But
for sure, yeah, there's
but
nothing.
back in the day, for sure, it was a
Yeah,
different story. We've all
yeah,
had our little spills.
yeah.
You mentioned, like you mentioned, a bag that made me think about, are you seeing any trends now when it comes to the industry of detergents, especially maybe when it comes to sustainability or eco-friendly things?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
how do you see the lingerie care market evolving in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I definitely think that we've been really change makers in terms of lingerie care because you had sort of like one pink and purple kind of label bottle on the shelf forever and ever and no other option. So we definitely feel like we have made it not just a one product category, that was kind of the hardest hurdle in the beginning. And then we would say to retailers, well, you carry more than one brand of sports bra, you have more than one t-shirt bra, like why do you only need to have one care solution? So I think that is one thing that we've definitely changed. Now stores have more than one option for their customers. And we're not saying, I mean, I would love all stores to only sell soap, but I'm also cool understandingly of different kinds of customers. Um, so I think that's definitely different. I think that um, the education aspect of it is really different now than it was before because we create a lot of care content. We teach people we do a lot of training. We do a lot of providing a lot of photography, and the end consumer might not see that kind of thing. Excuse me. It's more kind of on the back end for the stores to make their business easier by providing photography, providing content, providing social content, that kind of thing. So really being proactive like a lingerie brand in terms of providing all the support that goes with a collection in the wash category and making it as important as a lingerie brand. So I think that's definitely something that we've done uniquely. And we've had stores tell us that, soap will rank in the top 3 revenue generating brands in their store. And so historically a wash would never have done that. Right.
Congrats.
But then we're getting that kind of feedback. So I think definitely making it really more relevant for the store, like part of the mix of the store. So not just an add-on, right? But really an integral part of the store. Because if someone ruins their bra, if I put my bra for the first time in the washing machine on a super aggressive spin cycle and the wire comes out or it gets all twisty, I don't, customers don't blame themselves for that. They go back to the store, right? They're like, you sold me a bad bra, right? This bra was faulty. The wire came out, right? Well, I mean, maybe sometimes for sure we have issues with our bras. And also most of the time what happens is that we've just been really aggressive with it when it didn't need to have it happen, right? So Soak helps shop owners give that extra care to their customers, which reduces the amount of challenges that they have in the future, right? If I teach my customers how to take care of this, I'm going to have less customers coming back to me telling me that they've had a problem with the product. So it's really also like cheap insurance from a retail perspective. So teaching customers to do that in addition to just having it be an add-on product is also a really important aspect of our education philosophy. And so the more we can educate the retailers, the more they can educate their customers, and then it kind of trickles down from there. So I think that's definitely something that is different than before because that just like wasn't a thing before.
One thing's for certain is that education is so key in this industry because there's so much that people don't know until they know.
Yeah,
So
for sure, absolutely. I mean, if you haven't ever experienced a bra fitting or you haven't had like when we when we go to the trade shows, everyone on our team who's new, who goes to a trade show, goes to like a bra fitting course. Like you have to understand that experience that the customer has to understand why it's important to have soak. So like, yeah, we're not selling bras, but most of our sales and marketing team is fit certified. In the same way that we also like work on knitting or work on crochet to just kind of, or like work on quilting to understand the experience of what our customers are actually doing and why the product is important to them. So, and I think there are a lot of, the other thing that's interesting about laundry is that, like, we don't really see when things get cleaned in the washing machine, right? Like people don't know that, like, let's say the blue indigo comes out of their denim when they're washing it, right? Or we don't see over dye come out when we're washing it, but when we're when we're hand washing, all those things come out. So I think it's really important for people to do hand washing so that they understand what's happening with soap and understanding what's happening with washing. And so that for me is really important as the industry evolves.
Understand that. Okay, so now that we've gotten all this great information about soak, can you tell where people can find soak? So
Yeah.
socials, website, I'm
Yeah.
sure plenty of stores.
Yeah, I mean, we try to have stores in a lot of different countries around the world. We have a store locator on our website at soakwash.com. So you can go to the store locator, you can put where you are, you can see where it is. We also list a range of online stores there as well. So you can click through and kind of find something online. And then when you're looking for stores, you can also decide whether you want to look for a lingerie shop, you can look for a yarn shop or a quilt shop or a lifestyle shop as well. So we have that kind of variety of stores as well. We do recommend people call ahead just to make sure that soak is in stock. And you can obviously also buy it from our website, from soakwash.com directly. We do ship all across North America. Yeah, and we have lots of bundles and packs, and we have like big bottles and little bottles, and bundles with the wash bags. We have an essentials bundle, which is like a little bit of our whole product range. We also have an ironing spray, which is a wrinkle release anti-static smoothing spray. And we have basins for hand washing. So if you have a little place or you don't want to be doing your hand washing in the sink, there's nothing worse than someone coming home and wanting to brush their teeth and finding bras in the sink that they can't use the sink. So we do sell basins as well, in beautiful fun colors for hand washing. So we have lots of essentials bundles, which is like a little bit of everything from our brand on our website. So those sets and assortments we usually have just on our website, and then single multiple bottles you can find in all kinds of places.
And your socials?
Yeah, and I'll add one more thing as well. If your local lingerie shop doesn't carry soak and you want to, then just reach out to us through social or send us an email, and we'll get in touch with them and try to get soak there. We are at Soakwash, SOAKWASH on Instagram. Facebook, Instagram DMs is sort of the best place to reach us. I'm at Jacqueline_soak, which you can find through the soak one. A little bit more about kind of running the business, in addition to just the business stuff. So yeah, Soakwash, we're on Instagram, we're on Pinterest, we are on Facebook, and we have a thing on our website that's actually very cool called Soak School, and that's basically an information hub for learning how to take care of things. So that's really the best place that we like to send people when they want to learn, because you can learn about washing a bra, you can learn about washing linens, you can learn about workout clothes, and you can get really specific on what it is that you're washing at Soak School. It's a great resource for our store owners to share. It's a great place to come and learn how to use soak. We have a really unique kind of online presence with our customers, because people do want to learn about something and then they want to buy. So often, like, websites and online spaces are like either educational or they're shopping. It's kind of one or the other, and we are kind of weird in that we straddle both, because we know that people want to learn about something before they actually get it, or they're coming to us with like I have a new corset and I don't know how I'm going to take care of it. Or, you can use soap to wash stuffies, kids stuffies, man, they get so dirty because they get dragged everywhere and they get slept with, and kids don't want to part with them. So, hand washing a stuffy in a bathtub, giving a little teddy bear a bath is like a great thing to do with soak. And it's also a good entryway in teaching kids how to take care of things that are important to them, that are textile based. Because really, the sooner you learn how to take care of your bras, like the longer they're gonna last, and the better, like literally the rest of your bra trajectory will be, right?
Right.
Care is really critical.
Education is key, like we said. Okay, so we always like to end with some words of positivity.
Yeah.
So, it can be related to soak, it can be related to anything, but what words of positivity would you leave for the Bootcast audience?
Ooh, that's a good
Did I say
question.
Bootcast? BoobTube podcast audience. I was like, wait, that sounds off. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's so funny. I mean, I think that like soak worthy would be the word that I would use, and soak worthy for us means it doesn't matter whether a bra cost $10 or $100 or $200, right? It matters how it feels and how you feel in it. And so that concept of soak worthiness is like taking care of your clothes the way you take care of yourself. And it's about something having important value to you. So, you never know whether somebody's wearing a sweater that was an heirloom sweater. So maybe it's your grandmother's sweater, right? And so it's really important to you. It could be a super boring plain sweater, but it has that emotional or sentimental value. And so we really just want, to help you take care of those things that are soak worthy, because you are soak worthy, right? If you are wearing things that are important and you care about the way you stand and the way you look and you have a well supported bra, then you are soak worthy. And soak worthy for us is really celebrating someone who manifests the soak values, and also someone who has that kind of relationship with their clothes and with their lingerie. So stay soak worthy is what I would say.
I love that. Snap, 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 snap. Right. Well, thank you again so much for joining on BoobTube, not Boobcast, on BoobTube podcast. It's definitely been a pleasure speaking with you and getting this information about soap. So I look forward to everything that Soak has in the future that is coming up. Of course,
Yeah.
wishing you all the best in all these endeavors as well. But
Thank you. Yeah,
again,
if you
it's
head to
just
our website, if you're a new customer to Soak, on our website, you'll get a pop-up for 15% off on your first order. And so, yeah, I really encourage you to take the time to give it a try, because it's kind of life-changing once you realize that you can take care of things, because we all have something in our closet or in our drawers or at home that we don't wear because we're not sure how we're going to take care of it. And at Soap, we really want to get people out of that fear and into their favorite clothes. So go find those favorite things at home, wear them more often, wear the good bra every day, get 2 or 3 good bras, rotate them through, and keep them fresh, right? There's no point in saving those things for some special occasion. We should really just feel our best selves every single day. And so that's really what
yeah.
we're about at Soak.
Right. Well, thanks again for joining BoobTube.
My
See you
pleasure.
in the future. So we hope that you enjoyed our guest, Jacqueline, just as much as I did. Loved it so much to hear so much about Soak and the journey, how it got there, and how it got to where it is today. So be sure that you check out Soak and try their products and keep your stuff clean, it's important. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, follow, all of those things. You can also shop at boomtubepodcast.net and join us on Patreon as well. Just go to our website. And be sure to tune in next time as we are going to spring into some new fashions. All right. Until next time, adios.